And when you think about it, when you talk to somebody, their two biggest complaints most often, right, are going to be financial, right? They'll talk about money. Either they're not making enough or they need more money or investments or something along those lines. And they'll start talking about money. And you know what? What's really interesting is a lot of men will start researching around finances. They'll start researching around investments. They'll learn how to trade, right? They'll learn about ETFs or other investment vehicles, but they don't study the art of relationships. Respect. Is respect important to you? I hear so many guys tell me how disrespected they feel inside of their own home by their wife and sometimes by their kids as well. Let me ask you a question. Who do you respect more? Do you respect the guy who is always talking about the business he's going to start but just never takes any action? Or the guy who actually starts the business, flounders some, but is working his tail off? And who do you respect more? The guy who constantly tells you, yeah, I need to get in shape. Yeah, I want to lose weight or get more muscle or what have you. And is talking about this for year after year. Or the guy who goes to the gym on a regular basis. The guy who changes his diet. Now, maybe he's not perfect, but he puts in the work. Which one do you respect more? Honestly, answer that question out loud. Now, I know this is going to be pretty obvious because obviously you respect the person who takes action. But where is this happening in your marriage? You know, if you're losing respect from your wife and maybe your kids, my question is, are you taking action in that area of your life? Are you actually doing something to course correct? Because if you're not, you're going to be losing the respect in that area. If you know your marriage or your relationships, whether it be with your kids, your friends, your spouse, if you know those areas aren't at least a 7 or above, right? On a scale of 1 to 10, you rate it, how is your marriage? If it's below a 7, you got to do something about it. What about with your kids? Below a 7, you got to do something about it. Your friends, below a 7, guess what? Again, you got to do something about it because you know it's there. And if you're not doing something about this area of your life, relationships, which I think causes the most strife of anybody's life, right? You think about it in school. You know, I did one class on economics, right? So they talk about money for one class. But yet money is one of the biggest problems people have. Not just how to make money, but how to manage money, how to invest money properly. That education isn't as easy to find. You have home economics, you have all kinds of other courses, wood shop, we're taking English classes. These are all great math and things. In fact, I was in the second level of calculus in school. I've never used any of that stuff. But one class that nobody taught me about was relationships. Not a single one. Not even through the university system or anything other schooling that I've done until I had to start searching to find out information when my marriage was crumbling, right? That information just doesn't exist and it's not taught to us. So we need to be proactive and take action in those areas. And when you think about it, when you talk to somebody, their two biggest complaints most often, right, are going to be financial, right? They'll talk about money. Either they're not making enough or they need more money or investments or something along those lines. And they'll start talking about money. And you know what? What's really interesting is a lot of men will start researching around finances. They'll start researching around investments. They'll learn how to trade, right? They'll learn about ETFs or other investment vehicles, but they don't study the art of relationships. In fact, I was at someone's house just the other night. We're playing pool, and this individual was talking about they were taking a course in how to trade, right? This person was doing day trading. And the course they were going through was a 6-month course, which was teaching him all about day trading and how he could get ahead. And he was very excited. I mean, very excited. He was telling me about it as we're shooting pool, having a couple drinks. And I started thinking about it as he was telling me. I was like, man, this guy's already wealthy. Like, he's very wealthy. The house is a $2.3 million house that they had. He had a lot of other investments. And here he was spending 6 months of his time and his money, right? I didn't ask him how much the course cost, but he spent capital on it. But more importantly, his time and his resources. And here he was excitingly talking to me about this course. And he's invested in it. I thought it was amazing. And then I asked him, how his other relationships are, which is a weird question. But if you get to know me, I ask a lot of weird questions when you're having a drink, shooting pool with the guys. I'll ask questions like that because I'm just curious. And he's like, yeah, my relationship with my kids is okay. It could be better. My relationship with my wife, yeah, we're not in a horrible spot, but it's not as good as it's been in the past. I go, hey, give me a scale, 1 to 10. How are you guys doing today? He's like, honestly, man, 6. We're doing a 6. And then he went on to talk about this trading program, right, that he's invested in. Hey guys, sorry to interrupt this episode, but the reality is if you are watching or listening to this right now, then you are looking to better yourself. And I applaud you. You're one of my people. And I want to give you the opportunity of taking massive action. So if you haven't joined the activation method yet, it's our flagship program. Do what thousands of other businessmen just like you have done and take action. Be one of the 1%ers that actually does the work and takes action. There'll be a link in the description that'll take you right to a page that'll just give you more information. There is no obligation. Just go check it out and see if it's a good fit for you. All right, let's get back to this episode. And I can't help but sit there and think, man, here he is telling me that his marriage is about a 6 right now, yet he's not investing any time or resources into bettering his relationship. And his kids, right? You only got one shot at his kids. That's one thing that working with thousands of men I hear over and over again, because I have young kids. My kids are 4 and 7 right now. I hear it time and time again. Doug, this is such a great age. Man, it goes so fast. Now, we've all heard that. I heard that before I had kids. But what I'm doing is being smart about it and actually taking time to spend with the kids. In fact, if you go to my social media accounts, I was on Facebook for like over a year. Not that that's a big deal, but I was spending more time being in the moment than taking pictures of the moment and capturing them, right? I just wanted to be so present with them. And I share that with you because when we look at this idea of respect, right? This idea, like the guy I was shooting pool with, I had tons of respect for him. And if he's listening to this podcast, hey buddy, good game the other night. But the truth is, what I love to see him do, what I'd have more respect for him, is if he finds an area of his life that isn't working as well, if he took massive action to course correct, right? And I'm not saying I'm disrespecting him, but I'm also saying that in his house, I know, because his wife and my wife are friends, that his wife has lost respect for him over the years. Things he's done or things he says he's going to improve, but hasn't, right? And this is what I'm coming to. Like, is respect important to you? And if it's very important to me. So if it's important to you, are there areas in your life that you talk about getting better? Is it your relationship with your wife? Is it your sex life? Is it your health? Is it your wealth? Is it your business, right? Any of those cases, why aren't you taking action? So the guy I was playing pool with, it's so easy for men to take a finance course, right? Because they can see an ROI or potential of an ROI of getting that, right? Return on your investment. But when you're sitting in your rocking chair, right? You're in your 80s and you're looking back at your life. What are you most proud of? Are you most proud of the financial investments that you made? Or are you most proud of the memories that you've created? The fun memories with your kids, the fun memories with your wife, the things you've done with friends. In talking to older people, they almost always say it's their relationships that are the most important. They have the view, right? Hindsight's 20/20. And when they're looking at their life, it's their relationships. And this is why it doesn't confuse me, but I can get frustrated with people when they don't take action. We get men all the time talking to our advisors to see if the Powerful Man program, the activation method, is the right one for them. Right. And out of those people that actually get on a call, very few actually take action. They have all kinds of excuses, right? I don't have enough time. It's too expensive. I got to check with my wife first. What time of day is it? I can't make that kind of time. Ooh, it's too much of a time commitment. All of the excuses that you would imagine. It's the same excuses people make when they buy anything, right? Or they make any kind of purchase or any investment in time or capital. However, they can justify that time and capital in other things. Yet, for most of us, our relationships are the most important thing to us. They're the absolute most important. Yet, if you're not investing that time and your resources into bettering your relationships, then you're missing out. You're missing out on the opportunity to garner and gain the respect of those around you because you're improving yourself and you're improving your relationships. And that's where it gets critical. So if you're losing respect in your family life, and you're not doing something chronic, And if you are doing something chronic, like let's say you have a drinking problem or a gambling problem or a pornography problem or a sexual addiction or whatever that is, address those issues. Take massive action in that direction, right? And address those issues. Get a specialist who can help you with that so you can shorten the learning curve and live the life you do and garner the respect first for yourself. And then you'll actually get the respect of others. But if it's in the area of relationships, right? We talk about 5 territories at the Powerful Man: self, health, wealth, relationships, and business. Men will usually seek out guidance in almost all the other 4 territories. But for some reason, us guys have the stopping point when it comes to learning how to effectively be in relationships. And because of that, men that take action, they're extremely noticeable, right? Not only noticeable by other men, but noticeable by their wives and other women. And guys, that's a great place to be. I hear these stories all the time. And look, don't take my word for it if you want to. If you want to just hear some of the stories, we have hundreds of these stories. Go over to thepowerfulman.com. I think it's results. Just look at the about page or something like that. Somebody else handles all of that. But if you go there, there's going to be hundreds of these stories of men who are telling you just what I'm telling you. They've lived it out though. And I want you to do it too. I want you to have that respect for yourself first and foremost, but also garner the respect for other people because you're a man of action, not a guy that just talks a game, talks about, hey, someday I'm going to do these things. Someday I'm going to do this. Someday I'm going to do that. No, but be a man of action. So take some massive action, get on a call with one of our advisors if you want to find out about the activation method, if it's for relationships for you, if you need help in another area of your life. Like I said, if you have another problem with drinking or something else, go online, find a specialist who can help you today because you deserve the respect first and foremost from yourself, but also the respect of your loved ones.